study, but we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Ooh. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Come out better doing it like that. I don't know. Okay, so how y'all doing? And welcome to DDTS. Welcome to DDTS, everybody. That ain't big enough. But welcome to DDTS episode 759, live edition. Back with another video. Thank y'all for joining me. And this is a live episode today, y'all. And I'm so happy to be able to do this live episode with y'all. We're going to be talking about a couple of things that has been going on in the media and that has been trending a lot lately. One of the first things that we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about Bob Barker and the documentary that has been going on about him. And it is alleged and trending and alleged that Bob Barker was that he was allegedly a racist when it came to The Price is Right, among many other things. Like, it is alleged that one of the workers and one of the models that he was dating or sleeping around with, allegedly, I think her name was Miss Diane something. When it was alleged that when Bob Barker found out that one of his models, allegedly, Diane somebody, she basically elaborated to him that she allegedly slept with black men. And it is alleged that the late Bob Barker said he got mad. He got mad at her because she told him that she slept with black men or slept with a black man. He said that allegedly. This came out of the source's mouth. Even though Bob Barker is no longer here to defend himself, it is alleged Bob Barker told a Diane woman who was the model that black men were nothing but diseased. They're nothing but bad diseases and everything, and that he wouldn't even let the black contestants hug him. He would always tell them allegedly, don't touch me, don't touch me. No, no, no. He would try to run away from them. And he said allegedly, and it was alleged that a lot of people said that Bob Barker, he will only let two contestants on the show at a time. Now, even though I have not watched the documentary enough, I done seen enough reviews and I done seen enough clips and highlights of what people were saying about the documentary. And I can do my own research and tell you that the same things that they were saying, the people's in the interviews and documentaries were saying, and I can look it up and tell you, and what I'm gonna read, that they would tell you the same thing. But we'll go back to that in a little bit. So we're gonna talk about that. This also what we're gonna talk about. I also did a video on this Saturday. Let me see, can I find it? Let me see, can I find it, y'all? I don't know if I can find it right here. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about Chili, TLC's Chili, some more. Chili responds to the backlash she received after allegedly sharing a negative post about Michelle Obama. I have the most respect for Michelle Obama, and I would never say or do anything that is disrespectful towards her. Okay. That's good that you feel that way. Also, y'all, I did a video on this Saturday night and I posted it yesterday. But first, y'all, if you have not yet, hit that like button, subscribe button, and the notification bell so you get notified when I have new videos available. Yes, we have a lot of things that we're going to talk about. I think we're going to just stick to these two topics today. I'm gonna be on here for about an hour or however long I can or will till I cover all that there is to cover on this episode, on this live episode. And I want to go ahead and elaborate to y'all. Yes, I got a haircut. If you don't know, I got a new haircut. I'm going to elaborate to this with y'all. This may be my last video or live that I will be uploading in a while. I really feel like I need to take some time from YouTube and I need to take a rest. I need to take a hiatus. I need to take a breather. I need to I need to refresh myself pretty much. I really don't know, but yes. Hello, Harmony Bezak. How you doing? Is that how you pronounce your name? Welcome to the live. Thank you so much for coming in. But I don't know yet, y'all, knowing me. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Um, but let's go ahead. Yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure. Thank you and welcome to this episode. So let's go ahead and get started on this episode. The first thing that we're going to talk about um we're going to talk about Bob Barker. Hello, Dark Horse 5390. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live episode. How you doing? Welcome in. Okay, we're gonna talk about Bob Barker's situation first because I've been wanting to discuss his first. Then we're gonna come back to Chili. Okay, so we're gonna talk about him first because it's so much that I want to uncover and it's so much that I want to talk about. I am fine. That's wonderful. I'm glad you're doing good. Welcome to the live. It's so wonderful to see new faces. And if you can, please y'all make sure y'all like this live. Tap the screen. But yes, welcome to the live. So we're going to be talking about Bob Barker first. We're going to be talking about him. And also I got my other phone right here. This is my notes. This is where I'm gonna keep my notes at. This is where my notes at right here. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that. I just wanna let me go ahead and pull this stuff up. I just wanna say something. Now, if y'all know who Bob Barker is, and if y'all know who the Price is Right is, what the Price is Right is, you definitely should know. Because if any of you should know, back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and early 2000s, you should know who Bob Barker is. Now, me, I was born in 1995. I'm 31 years old, so that makes me a 90s baby. Not a 2000s baby, not a 2010s baby. I am a 90s baby. I'm 31 years old. And if many of you that was born in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you should know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being in the South. I'm talking about being in the South, being from Mississippi, being from the South Side, being from the South, the Southern way where I'm at now in the country. You should know back in the summer times when, and if you were sick from school, you pretty much know where I'm going with this. If you were sick in school, or it was the summertime, but let's go back when you were sick in school. When you were sick in school, you'd be at your grandparents' house. It was a schedule how things went. 10 o'clock, The Price is Right. 10 to 11 o'clock, The Price is Right. 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, The Young and the Restless. 12 o'clock to 12:30, WCBI with Bill Gamble and Andrea Self. 12:30 to 1 o'clock, The Bold and the Beautiful. 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, As the World Turns. I really don't know how it... I don't know how it was back then, but yeah. And you know, us as peoples from the South and us as grown individuals that was born in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we know who Bob Barker was. Hello, Wind was... He started TV. He started on TV in 1956. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And welcome to the live. Nice to meet you. I want to tell y'all something. I did a video on Bob Barker like a day or two after I found out he passed away. All this time I'm thinking Bob Barker was this sweet individual person that wouldn't harm a fly. I really did. And I'm not going to drag anybody. I'm not going to drag him. I'm not going to disrespect him. But I am going to tell my truth. And I am going to speak my opinion. And I am going to basically say how I really feel and what I think is the truth. Now, Bob Barker, he was a name, a famous name in the households when it came to being sick from school and in the summertime. If you know, you know. But so allegedly, it was a documentary that has been going around about The Price is Right. It's a documentary series that's on E. And they happened to do a episode on The Price is Right. So if you do not know, the peoples that was doing the Price is Right documentary, it was a lot of peoples that worked for Bob Barker that were models. You had white models, you had a couple of black models. Not too many black models, but it was one model that was black, maybe two, Claudia Jordan. She had her say so the whole thing. And then you had the other model that played Miss Parker off of Friday. I gotta pull up the name on that. But I'm gonna try my best to say what there is to say about this. Dark Horse 5390, not Mini Black. Exactly. And best believe when I was on TikTok last night, I was watching a review of some people that was talking about it. And the things that I found out about that documentary, the things I found out about that documentary about Bob Barker, it would make the hair on your back stand up if you had any on there. My mouth basically flew open. What did he do? Suspense. Oh, trust me, I'm finna give you the hot tea. I'm finna give you the hot tea and the ledge tea. I'm finna give it to you. I'm finna tell you everything that I found out about Bob Barker. And I ain't even watched the documentary yet, but let me tell you something. I done watched enough reviews and I done watched enough clips to know and to get all the information that there is to get on this whole thing. So let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, sir. He's getting to it. Yes, I'm about to get to it. I'm about to get to this hot tea and hot gossip. But if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel if you like more videos like this. Plus, I have plenty of them, but on different topics. Okay. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Let me pull my notes up. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up right here. So if you hear me, if you see me reading from this, I'm reading from my notes. Okay, y'all? Do I need to pick a door? No, you do not need to pick a door. No, it's nothing like that. You do not need to pick a door. So it says viral clip feuds renewed racism allegations around The Price is Right host Bob Barker. So the name of the show, y'all, the name of the show is E's Dirty Rotten Scandals, features the new interviews with Barker's beauties, claiming the late host discriminated against non-whites. Okay, yep, this is it. And I think to me, this is the biggest topic of all when it comes to The Price is Right. Let me get a sip of my coffee. Yeah. I think this is the biggest one of all. Now, the name of the show is E's Dirty Rotten Scandals, and they're gonna be talking about The Price is Right. So they talked about The Price is Right. They talk about those times on there, and it was a lot of peoples who were models for The Price is Right. Bob Barker's show. Bob Barker, he was the host of The Price is Right from 1972 to 2007. That's when Drew Carey came on. And after when Drew Carey came on, I pretty much didn't watch it anymore. But me watching The Price is Right, me thinking that The Price is Right was a cool show, and me thinking that Bob Barker was a cool person, I had no idea that Bob Barker was like this. Well, let's be honest, he was born in 1923, so what do you expect? He was born in a time where a lot of racism and a lot of historic and a lot of backward stuff happened in that time. So, hell, it still exists today. But a lot of people say that we should not be shocked about this whole. We should not be surprised by this whole ordeal. Autumn Love 924 Meat Tanking. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the live. What is what is meat tanking? So we're finna go ahead and get into this video real quickly. 1 second, y'all. Let me go pick this garbage bag up off the floor. So hold on, y'all, okay? Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So let's go ahead and get back to this topic. Okay, so here we go. So it is says that for decades, The Price is Right was America's favorite sick day companion, smiling contestants, bright lights, and at its center, Bob Barker, the avatar host who closed every episode urging viewers to help control the pet politician off camera. Former models now say that the reality was far less wholesome. A new investment of E's docu-series Rotten Scandals revisits long-standing allegations of racism, discrimination, and retaliation during Barker's 35-year tenure consolidating claims that once surfaced in lawsuits, tabloids, headlines into some more unfound narrative. Now, Kathleen Bradley, the show's first full-time black model, recalls she described as a hostile environment both on set and beyond it. Some of the fans were writing negative things about me being on the show. She says in the series, adding that inside production meetings, staff allegedly used racial slurs when the models were not present. Okay, here we go. It says, my apologies. I was indeed typing for a gaming stream when it changed. That's okay. That's okay. It's nice to meet you. It's totally fine. If it was a great positive response, that's all that matters. As long as it's not being trolling or mean in a negative way, it's all good. It's good. I thank you for telling me. Welcome to the live. Now, Claudia Jordan, who joined a decade later, alleges that certain priests in the documentary and circulating clips that she claims the contestant section was racially coded. Only a limited number of black contestants were allowed per taping. Marked behind the scenes, that was the direct order from Bob Barker, she says in the footage. Jordan also describes stereotyping on set, calling producers and reducing her to racial tropes by adding that black contestants who approach Barker will sometimes be met with visible discomfort. I'm telling you the truth. I'm going to stop right there. Can I stop right there on that reading? Now let's elaborate, okay? Let's elaborate. Listen. So you trying to tell me that this guy, this legendary game show host, who we all grew to love, whose show that we watched on the sick days when we didn't have school and in the summertime. I remember the summertime shelling peas and shelling butter beans and shelling peas and all that and being inside up under the air watching The Price is Right. Thinking that this game show host, that this guy, this man was all P's and Q's and everything else. And even to this day, I was still going back and forth, peeping at his show because he got his own channel on Pluto TV. He got his own channel on the Roku channel. He got his own channel, The Price is Right, the Bob Barker era. So even to this day, I was peeking, watching a little bit of his show, having me revisit some memories. But this documentary got me thinking otherwise. And even though I have not watched the documentary, I got enough information and I done got enough sources and I done got enough stuff at this very moment to know and to talk about what I want to talk about. So I'm going to go back and read some more, but let's just elaborate on this. First and foremost, I don't know why a lot of us are shocked. I will admit I was a little naive. Because think about it. Even some of the peoples that are not of our community, meaning the black community, we all grew up and watched Bob Barker, Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, The Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak, How to Be a Millionaire, John Riley. You know, all those legendary peoples. And the price is right here, Bob Barker, which we are talking about now. Um, I'm going to put it in this aspect. He was born in 1923. And the fact that I literally had to go back and rewind. I had to literally go back and rewind some of the things that a lot of people were doing these reviews on. I had to go back and rewind and make sure I heard right when he said that it was said that he only allowed two contestants per taping of the show. And he wouldn't even let the contestants, the black contestants, he wouldn't even let the contestants who was non-white touch him. He wouldn't even let the black contestants touch him. Every time they tried to hug him, I seen clips, y'all, literally. This coming from me. I seen clips. When he will announce the black winners, and they'll get up there, because you know how happy they get. When they tried to get up close to him, he was like, no, 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 no. He would try to run from him. He would try to run from him, like he was afraid of him, like he didn't want to touch him, like he's scared that he was going to catch something. Well, if y'all think that was something, when one of the models that I just said earlier, her name was Diane, Miss Diane something, she identified, you know, when they was sleeping together allegedly, when she was a model on The Price is Right. It is alleged that they'll mess around behind the stage, behind the seat of The Price is Right when the show was going on. So allegedly, when she told him allegedly that she have slept with a black man or she slept with black men, it is said that Bob Barker got so mad at her allegedly, he basically told her or anybody else that was around him who could hear him allegedly that black men are diseased. They're full of diseases and they are a disease. This and that and the third. Not only did this come from the Diane woman, but this also came from other peoples as well. So why was he so intimidated and why did he get angry when this woman who was a model for his show for years, who was never heard of again, um why would he get so mad at her? Is it because he was intimidated by a black man? Is it because he was threatened by a black man? Or was it the fact that um I'm not saying he wanted to test that theory, but I think the thing is this. I think he was intimidated because she was with a black man. Whether if she was with a white man or a black man or a Mexican man or anything else or the whole scenario, that does not matter. If the man did not do anything to him, why should he be worried about it? It wasn't his body that the man was sexualizing. It was the Miss Diane woman who was the model for The Price is Right. And I'm going to see, can I find her name? I'm going to go back and read that. But I want to elaborate on it for a little bit. But let's go back and read some more. Let's go back and read some more. I'm trying to see why I stopped it. Okay. It says other former Barker's beauties go further. Holly Hallstorm, who worked on the show for nearly 2 decades, alleges that retaliation after that she refused to support Bob Barker's in a sexual harassment case involving fellow martyr Diane Parkinson. That's her name, Diane Parkinson. That's the name. That's the name. Her name was Diane Parkinson. She described Barker as cruel and viciously vindictive, claiming he sought to destroy employees who did not comply. The docu-series also revisits earlier claims trying Bob Barker's to racially charged remarks. Hall's story recounts a moment when Barker allegedly expressed fear of interracial relationships, saying that he believed black men were the most diseased people on earth, a statement cited in the program as a embellic of border culture. Y'all, I'm reading this from the Hollywood Reporter. All you gotta type in is Bob Barker's racism, and you will pull this up. I'm not making this up. I'm reading it right here on this device. Again, let's read the last part. It says, Bob Barker allegedly expressed his fear of interracial relationships, saying that he believed that black men were the most diseased peoples on earth, a statement cited in a program of the embolic of the border culture. Yes, indeed. That's what he allegedly said. That's what this article says right here that allegedly came from Bob Barker. Now, let's stop right there now. And now, so the woman was Diane Parkinson. How the news came about Diane Parkinson, it came from Holly Hallstorm, who was on The Price is Right for 2 decades. Okay? She was on The Price is Right for 2 decades. And she said backstage what I just read. She said that she heard Bob Barker allegedly that she encountered that. It is said that Bob Barker he feared interracial relationships, and he said that allegedly black men was the most um diseased peoples on this earth. Okay, okay, okay. This is coming from an individual. I'm sorry, even though I used to watch The Price is Right when I was little, I don't know if I can watch it now. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this. You talking about, sir, even though he's no longer here on this earth, he was 99 years old when he passed away. Okay, I was not going to go here. I tried so much not to go here. But I'm going to have to go here. And I don't care who gets mad. I might lose subscribers, this and that and third. I really don't care anymore. You talking about you don't disapprove of interracial relationships, said that you fear for interracial relationships. Let me tell you how let me tell you how the interracial thing started. You talking about, sir, that you do not approve of interracial relationships, that you feared for them. But what about when your ancestors or whoever you had was messing with our ancestors, doing all these tormented things to them, getting them pregnant and everything, this and that and the third? How you think interracial marriages and how you think biracial peoples came about? How you think all this came about? When Massa was messing around with the slave against her will. So basically, it's his background, it's Bob Barker's background, or whoever background of other communities that started this whole navigation. So I don't know, do we have they background to think because of that or what? But it also works on both sides. But the way he said that kind of makes me feel some type of way. I'm not in no interracial relationship. I'm not at all. Hell, I'm not in no relationship. But the thing is, the fact that he said that black men are the most diseased peoples on this earth, how would how would other peoples feel if I said as a black man how other peoples of the community feel, how I felt of peoples of the other community, how those people feel then. But I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not that type of person. I could, but I won't. And the fact that he's no longer here on earth to defend himself, and the fact that he's no longer here to defend himself, why wait till this individual is dead, no longer here on this earth, not be able to tell his side of the story? I don't know. I think the thing is, when he was here on earth, they were scared. They were scared. They couldn't speak up because they were scared. Maybe they were scared if they spoke up while he was here, they will lose everything. They will lose their jobs, their houses, or whatever they had. It's so much to unpack here, but I'm not going to spend all my time elaborating on this one particular thing. I'm just speaking my facts. He was a racist. Is no doubt about it. He didn't want no hug from no non-white contestant. He literally tried to run away from it. I wouldn't lie to you. I don't want to hear that it was AI. No, that's not AI. That literally is him um running away from a non-white contestant. And I've watched clips to be sure. I watched clips to be sure that I was mistaken. And I don't think these models, they will lie about this. And it was also said that if the models would gain weight or if they became a certain size, he would definitely get mad. And if other workers that worked for Bob Barker's, the models or anybody else, if they didn't abide by Bob Barker's rules, he would get mad. And you pretty much allegedly had to feel his fury through this whole ordeal. Now, I wouldn't tell no story and I wouldn't tell no lie. Now, if y'all don't believe me, you can go back and read this from the Hollywood. You can go back and read this from the Hollywood Reporter. You sure can. Because one thing I believe in doing, I believe in giving y'all the right information and not the wrong. And and just and just in case, when this live is over, when this episode is over, I will put the link in my description box and y'all can go and read this y'all selves respectfully. Because I'm pretty sure everybody from every household, every culture, every background, every race enjoyed The Price is Right. From the 70s, from the 80s, from the 90s, from the early 2000s, and so on and so on. The same pattern has been repeatedly repeated for almost 50 years or over. So let's just put that out there. Now, let's finish reading. The renewed attention has also been fueled by a viral clip from the show in which Barker appears to pull away and move off stage as black contestants approaches him for a hug. The moment has spread wildly online as supposed evidence of bias on its own. However, the clip does not establish intent or content. A running joke on the show was the Samoan woman loved to pick him up, and so he dodged him on stage. Bob Barker being a racist is not shocking. Bob Barker being a racist is not funny. Racism is not funny. But every part of this clip right here, especially the end, has me laughing for 5 minutes. Okay. Somebody says wrong. Um, I don't know as I'm wrong. I don't know as I'm right. But all I know, I'm just going from my notes, and I'm just going by what I've listened to and what I've read. Now, even though I have not watched the documentary, I've gotten enough information from clips and clips and clips to know that this is a this is a sad situation. I'm gonna go ahead and say this: racism is not funny at all. It's not funny. Racism has been going on for decades and decades and decades, and to me, it seems like that it has gotten worse and worse and worse by the minute. You think when slavery was going on that it was bad? Well, now it seems like to me it's trying to get brought back, and I ain't going there, and I'm not getting in that situation. I refuse. But the fact that this individual, that this so-called legend was racist, I'm still taken aback from it. It's kind of hard to figure out that he was not fond of black peoples. But when he said what he said allegedly about the black men being diseased, peoples around the world, I could say a lot of things. I could say some things, but I'm not that individual person. Because if I would have said what I said, oh, I would have been the victim. No, I would have been the villain. I would have been the evil one. I would have been the wrong one. So yeah, let's go back. Ooh, I don't spent like almost a whole hour, talking about Bob Barker. But let me go into my elaboration. He was born in 1923. Again, I shouldn't be surprised, but indeed I was. Because not only did I hear this from one source, I heard this from other sources as well. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Yep. Because every post that I went on and every clip that I saw on the YouTube has been nothing but people's talking about Bob Barker's racism. Hey, the Solomon Project, how are you doing? Delicious D. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. How are you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the live. I think I done got it. Okay. So let's go back and read a little bit more. Then we're gonna go to we're gonna go to the last topic. But I just wanted to talk about Bob Barker. I had to, even though I ain't watched the documentary, I have enough information to elaborate on it. I'm doing the wild thing. You doing the wild thing. I'm scared to find out what you're doing. I'm scared to find out what you're doing. I am scared to find out what you're doing. It says Barker, who died in 2023 at the age of 99, consistently denied wrongdoing during his lifetime. His longtime representative has again pushed back in response to the series, defending him as a beloved television figure, rejecting the allegations while empathizing his reputation and legacy. I'm going to go on and say this. The Solomon Project says Bob Barker was a racist. Allegedly, allegedly, yes. And from the information that I've just read, Mr. Burns, the Solomon Project, and from the video clips that I've watched from the documentary, even though I have not watched it, a lot of sources can confirm with what I'm saying. I can tell you some of the things that he said. It is alleged that one of the models and certain models, one of them was Holly Hallstern, and the other one was Diane Perkinson, who were both models for Bob Barker back in the day. They said, he said Diane Perkinson. Now, Diane Perkinson, she was allegedly messing around with Bob Barker. So I'm guessing that they was in a relationship or they just messed around behind the set of The Price is Right. So when Diane Perkinson allegedly told Bob Barker that she have slept with a black man, that she have slept with black men, or she slept with a black man, he basically and allegedly told her, and he literally got mad at her and said, got mad at her, might have cussed her out, this and then the third, saying that black men were the most diseased peoples on this earth. That's what Bob Barker allegedly said to Diane Perkinson when she told him that she allegedly slept with a black man. That Bob Barker allegedly said that black men were the most diseased men on this earth. And on top of that, if a black contestant won a retail prize, when they'll get up there being excited, Bob Barker would try to run away from them or dodge them to keep them from hugging him. But if they was white or from any other community or background, such as white, yes, I'ma say it, he would hug them. But let it be a black person, he would dodge. He would dodge them. He would say, no, no, don't touch me, don't touch me, no, 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 no. What does that tell you? And if Claudia Jordan said some of this, hold on, y'all. Okay, I'm back, y'all. So yeah, it is alleged that Bob Barker was indeed a racist. But not only that, the models had to. Oh, I'm talking about this. He got lawsuits against him too. It says right here that Bob Barker, the longtime host, The Price is Right, 1972 to 2007, was involved in several high-profile lawsuits and allegations, primarily regarding sexual harassment, wrongful termination, and toxic workplace environment during his tenure. So he basically got a lawsuit for a bunch of things. He terminated peoples that didn't deserve to be fired. Sexual harassment. Oh yeah, the sexual harassment thing. Yeah, yes, um he definitely has been known to sexual harass a lot of women. Now, recent revelations from the 2026 docu-series Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, The Price is Right, have brought renewed attention to these legal battles. The major lawsuits and scandals consist of Diane Perkins sexual harassment suit, 1994 model Diane Perkins sued Barker for $8 million, alleging that he concurred her into a sexual relationship which she claimed lasted from 1989 to 1991. Out of fear of losing her job, Barker admitted to the hanky panky but claimed it was a consensual romantic relationship. Parkinson dropped the suit in 1995, stating that it was damaging her health. Holly Hallstorm, wrongful termination, who I talked about earlier. This was from 1995 to 2005. Model Holly Hallstorm was fired in 1995. She claimed it was retaliation for refusing to speak out against Parkinson on behalf of Barker's. Barker subsequently sued Hallstorm for defamation after a 10-year legal battle that left her financially ruined. Barker dropped his suit in 2000, and Hallstorm won a multi-million dollar settlement in the Massachusetts possession in 2005. Deborah Curling, hostile work environment, 2007. A producer, Deborah Curling, sued CBS, Barker, and other producers, allying that she was demoted and forced to work in a troubled environment after testifying against the show in a previous lawsuit. The suit was dismissed and the dismissal was affirmed in 2012. Other allegations: model Janice Pigeon and Kathleen Bradley were fired in 2000 after allegedly disputes leading to further wrongful terminations, lawsuit, and settlements. The key details and allegations: the 10-second rule. Models claim that to handle widespread sexual harassment on set, producers implemented a 10-second rule which allowed people to stare at models for up to 10 seconds. The workplace environment, according to Dirty Rotten Scandals and testimonies, the set was described as a toxic environment where Barker silenced women who complained about harassment, telling them to get over it and look for a new job. Child, Lord have mercy. When I tell y'all this is some hot damn. Ooh, child, I couldn't make this up even if I want to. You can go and read this up. All you gotta do is type in Bob Barker lawsuits and you can literally read what I'm telling you. I'm reading from my notes here. And I'm going to elaborate on that. I don't believe these models lying. I believe these models telling the truth. Bob Barker had me all thinking that he was all Mr. Two Good Shoes, like he was good for the community, like he ain't done nothing wrong. But these models and these statements right here and these notes saying otherwise. Diane Perkinson, 1994. She said allegedly that Bob Barker forced her to be in a relationship. And she claimed that the relationship lasted from 1989 to 1991. And Holly Hallstorm is saying that, she was wrongful terminated because she wouldn't speak up against Diane Perkinson. But in the end, Holly Hallstorm won a multi-million lawsuit. Bob Barker dropped the case in 1995 or 2000 again. And two models was fired. And these are other allegations that two models was fired. Models Janice Pedrington and Kathleen Bradley. They were fired in 2000 after allegedly refusing to support Bob Barker in legal disputes leading to further wrongful termination lawsuits and settlements. This the thing with me though. This the thing with me. That's evil. That's some evil stuff right there. This reminds me of somebody else who was very big in the industry. And if they didn't fall by the rules, they would suffer the consequences. This the thing. You can't hold no person's job against them because they refuse to support you for the wrongdoings that you've done, that you forced your own self to do. That does not give you the right to have your workers, your models, your employees support you in something that you know deep down is wrong. I don't care how loyal I am to you as an employee, as a friend, as a family member. But if you wrong and if you doing things that is illegal, wrong, especially when it comes to sexual harassment, I'm not supporting you. I don't give a damn if you is getting allegedly sued or this and that and the third. If you know you did it, and if you know you wrong, and if one person said, and if another person said the same thing that other person said, you wrong. I'm not supporting that. So basically, he allegedly fired two models because they refused to go along with him with these legal things that he did with the sexual harassment and everything and what happened to Holly Hallstorm and Diane Perkison. That is crazy for you to allegedly want to fire these two models that was loyal to you, that stayed quiet. So basically, these models and these workers, these producers, everybody that was in Bob Barker's circle and in his presence, all of those women and whoever worked with him, probably men too, we never know, they all had to suffer a great deal. They basically had to look over their shoulder. They really did think that Bob Barker was this nice, sweet person. I did. I thought Bob Barker was a very nice person that didn't do no harm. But again, he was born in 1923. And again, I guess the fame got to his head. In the end, he thought that he was untouchable. But no, I'm going to say this. Even though he's no longer here on this earth, I think this probably would have offed him right then and there if he was still here, and if this documentary would have came out. This probably would have been the end of him right here. Not trying to be mean, not trying to be funny, but in the end, the victims of this whole scenario is the models. And it ain't no, oh, they just trying to get money. No, 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 no. They ain't trying to get money. They just trying to tell their side of the story. For years and decades, these models and these workers and employees, all that knew Bob Barker, all that worked with him and behind the scenes and everything, they were suffering a great deal. And that ain't right. So yes, Bob Barker was allegedly a racist. He was a guy that sexually harassed his workers, that forced his workers to sleep with him and forced his workers to be on his side when he know he sexually harassed these models and women and workers and everything and fired them for the wrong reasons, wrongful termination and everything. All these is allegations. The representative who was his representative, every time when he get asked about these questions, the representative refused to answer them, always want to push them back, and he refused to respond, saying that he was a nice person. The main reason I feel like this person that was his representative saying that he was a nice person, like he didn't do nothing wrong, is because maybe Bob Barker left his representative everything. Maybe he left him a great Maybe he left him or left her a greater deal of money. Maybe it was something else deeper inside that, but we do not know that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I know I'm doing a lot of elaboration, and I ain't even got on the other topic yet. So, yes, it is a lot. So, I'm about to go ahead and close this topic down because I think I done said everything that I needed to say. It says, despite these scandals, Barker remained a popular television figure until his retirement in 2007. He died on August 26, 2023 at the age of 99 years old. I'm going to go on and say this. I ain't trying to make this about race. Right is right and wrong is wrong. But if he was a black legendary TV show host and they would have done all this, oh, best believe they would do everything in their power to make sure that that black TV host is gone, out of the picture, done with a job, everything. Try to take them for everything they got. See, a black TV host, show host, they could never get by with this. But let alone Bob Barker, who I really did have the most respect for, who I did before I knew all this. This make me feel like I can't watch one of my childhood shows no more because of this. And what he said about the black men of the community. It's crazy. So yeah. But if it was a black man that was in the same position as Bob Barker, they'd be trying to get them down fast in a hurry and clean them out. I'm just gonna put it in that aspect. So now, that's all I'm gonna say on that topic, even though I spent all my time talking about this topic. But now my phone about to go dead, but I'm finna go on and squeeze Chili's topic in there as well. I'm finna elaborate on that a little bit. So let me know what you guys think about this topic. Hey from the SIP, how you doing? Welcome to the live. Um, Mr. Burns, the Solomon Project, from the SIP says hello. How you doing, the Solomon Project? Welcome to the live. Okay, let's talk about this last topic right here. If I can find it. Okay. Now I posted a video on this yesterday. Actually, I recorded this Saturday night and I uploaded it yesterday. The Solomon Project says hello, SIP. Hi, SIP. From the SIP, the Solomon Project says hello. And you say I used to watch Bob Barker with my grandma growing up. I did too. We used to watch it in the summertime. We used to shell peas and butter beans and everything. And when I was sick, we used to watch it from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, then watch The Young and the Restless. Man, times was so simple back then and so good back then. I would give anything to have those memories back. That's when people were more respectful and can get along Yes, the Southern Project. Yeah, butter bean. Yeah, we used to. Yes, I used to shell butter beans with my grandma and stuff. I used to shell butter beans, black eyed peas, snap beans, all that. Be sitting up under the air watching the prices right, in the boat and the Young and the Rest. But when the Young and the Rest came on, we took a break. We took a break. Yes, we took a break. Yes. But let's go ahead and talk about this topic before I put my phone on the charger. Um Chile responds to the backlash she received after allegedly sharing a negative post about Michelle Obama. I have the utmost respect for Michelle Obama, and I would never do or say anything that is disrespectful to her. I'm just gonna go on and say this, like I said in my video, because I'm gonna keep it simple and short and cute. Not really. Girl, you making yourself look guilty at this point. You're making yourself look guilty. Um, you say you did not know that you reposted this, like you did not know that you hit repost and saying that you was not a computer whiz. Girl, who you think gonna fall for that stuff? And it is says, that she donated a little bit, saying that she donated $1 here, or $2 there, $5 here, $5 there. Girl, oh yeah, she guilty. The Solomon Project says, oh yeah, she guilty. She guilty. She guilty. I ain't gonna, honestly, with me, I ain't gonna say she did. I ain't gonna say she didn't. But this seems like guilty, 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 guilty. Because anytime when you have to post a video, yeah, anytime when you gotta post a video and explaining yourself, oh child, you guilty. The Solomon from the Sip says the gig is up with Chili. It is. It's up with her. It's up with her for real, for real. And she done messed up with them ticket sales because this is alleged that TLC her and T-Bars was supposed to be on tour with a couple of other singing groups. Now, with T-Bars having, T-Bars, she's dealt with her illness for a long time, her sickle cell and everything, and she basically needs that money, for her bills and everything, because you never know what's going on with a person. It seems like to me, Chili basically just messed it up. She messed it up. Ain't no way you gonna say I did not know I posted I did not know I reposted till I got a phone call. Girl, you knew. Even I know if I reposted something. Ain't no way I'm gonna push repost and be like, oh, I did not know I reposted. If I knew I reposted, ain't no way I'm gonna make a video saying I didn't know I reposted. Girl, you did it. You did it. You did it. She follows a lot of MAGA peoples on Instagram. Wow. See, I had that feeling. I had that feeling. And I believe she donated to his campaign too. Don't go chasing them ticket sales. You done fucked up and you are in trouble. Yep. And I believe it. See, she done gave her own self up with that. She did it. She did it. And you know what else I believe she did? She meant what she said about that negative post that she posted of Michelle Obama. This the thing. Why post a negative post about Michelle Obama anyway? Why we post it? Because the last time I checked, Michelle Obama is a black woman like you is, Chili. Michelle Obama is a black woman like you is. Why go against your own community? Why? Why go against your own community? And why go against a gender who is the same as you, who basically stands up for you, fights for you, the right to have this, the right to have that? I don't understand why peoples want to come from Michelle Obama, because what has she done to peoples to have people say negative things about her? She's done nothing wrong. Collins, Big Mike Obama. I'm not putting up with this stuff. I'm gonna tell you what I'm about to do. I don't know. I don't know. Was that supposed to be a joke? But I'm not going for that. We is not. I am not playing that stuff. I'm not playing that bullshit. You can get the fuck off here with that. No, no, no. There'll be no Michelle Obama slander, and there will be no Mr. Obama slander. There will not be that up in here. So if you got a problem with that, you can get on out of here. Michelle is successful. That's why she's a target. Yes, she's a successful lawyer. And she was one of the first black ladies in the White House who actually believed in helping the peoples alongside her husband. Even though some of the things that, I still don't understand about the whole scenario, but Michelle Obama, she's truly one of the best, and she's very successful. She's a very successful black woman. She's a very successful woman. And she even put the kids first when it came to exercising in school to try to have healthy foods for the kids so they wouldn't be eating up all that junk food with all those fats and preservatives and stuff. But hey, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I love Michelle Obama. I respect her. She has not done anything to me to have me saying anything negative about her. I respect her. I respect Mr. Obama, Miss Obama. I respect them all. I love my peoples and I love being black, and I wouldn't change that for nothing. But Chili, on the other hand, Chili just done fucked all the way up. Excuse my language. She done messed all the way up. She done messed up them ticket sales. She done messed up her money. She done messed up the tour. And now she probably done messed up T-Bar's thing of getting paid and for everything that she needs. I literally I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it, y'all. But she's in trouble. She is in trouble. But that's my video. That's all I'm going to say on that. But before I close this, is there anything that I left out that I need to include? Thank you, Mr. Burns. Michelle is a successful, that's why she's a target. Yes, I agree. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming in. Thank you, Mr. Burns, the Solomon Project. Thank you from the SIP. Thank each and every one of y'all. From the ones that watched on their phone, that watched behind the scenes. Thank y'all that came in and left out. Thank y'all so very much. So I want to ask y'all, put in the comments, how did I do on this episode today? And I really want to say thank y'all. And I think that's all I wanted to include. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on um Chili on that. But actually I got a video that's already up when I talked about, oh Lord, when I talked about Chili. But yeah, hope I ain't messing nothing up. But yeah, uncommon woman, I love your accent. Thank you so very much. I truly appreciate it. I'm from the South. I'm from the South and I'm from the country. I get that all the time. I like a lot of people say, I love you. Yes, thank you. They say my accent is very strong. I want to thank you so very much. But that's going to be my episode for today, y'all. If y'all was not able to catch the full episode, you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank y'all so very much. I want to thank each and every one of y'all again that came in. You know who you are. And y'all have a great day. I love y'all. Bye-bye.